Hey guys, Uncle Ray, welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. On this channel, we cut through the hype and the noise and I give you the non-biased information you can use to hopefully capitalize on the biggest opportunity in history, and that is this current bull run. Now, if you've been watching this channel, you should be doing well. And guys, I've been doing videos on Hedera HBAR for over 2.5 years, and I've said from day one, I truly believe that it was the best opportunity for a 10x in crypto in the bear market. I started stacking at 4 and 5 cents, and I truly believe it will take out its all-time high. And guys, the news that comes out of that ecosystem is absolutely amazing. And I'm going to give you some more alpha of why Hedera will be a top 5 crypto in the future. It probably won't be this bull run, but we're going to talk about a new project and a new token coming to Hedera. And when that token launches, I will be stacking that token. It is a game changer project. Guys, I can't be more bullish long term for Hedera. I personally believe it's one of the most legit projects out there from top to bottom. And I think that they truly are one of the only projects that literally are straight up trying to build the future, and they're not there to just get nasty rich on our money. That being said, we're going to talk about this new project. It blows me away, but it also gives you an insight, guys, of one thing that I've said 1,000 times, and I know a lot of people probably get tired of hearing it, but the risk of holding projects long term are immense, and because of two things: regulation and technology. And this project has changed the game when it comes to like the Internet of Things. And I know there's a lot of projects like IOTA and say Casper that are trying to be, in that sector and dominate. But guys, this technology is so far advanced that I really believe that it does not have any competition if they pull this off, because the bar is set so high that people are not going to be able to match it. Because, one thing about crypto that I've said and I understand is that, like like Mr. Wonderful from the Shark Tank said, look, you got to look at these projects as internet companies, internet startups, right? Because you can clone almost most of this technology as far as the code and things like that. And the tech is changing so fast. But if it's not just the tech, if it's not just the code, you're not going to be able to clone this project. Anyway, I know I'm ranting on, but guys, this is an exceptional project, and it's the type of project that no other blockchain is being built on like this type of application. Anyway, hit that like button. Let's dive into it. Now, before I dive into this project, I want to mention two different things. A lot of people harp on Hedera because it hasn't performed like they expect it to. And some people don't like the tokenomics. But we're going to talk about that at the end because, guys, I try to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm non-biased. I want you to understand what you're dealing with, and hopefully you'll make good decisions. So we'll talk about that at the end, and then we'll take a look at the chart. All right, what are we talking about? Now, I did a video a while back, actually a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about like satellites being launched into space with a company that's building on Hedera. But guys, it's 10 times more impressive than I thought, because they didn't go into the application and what's going on. And now I understand it. Shout out to the HBAR Bull. They brought the CEO of SEALSQ, which is a subsidiary of Wisekey. Anyway, check this out. It says, the Hashgraph Association and SEALSQ build the future of decentralized physical infrastructure network depend on Hedera DLT. Now, we get a lot of stuff like that where people say they're building out the future. Guys, this is the future. Now, the good news is, like I said, SEAL is going to launch a token. It's going to be called the SEALCOIN, and I will stay on top of this. And when that token comes out, I'm going to start stacking. Now, what are we talking about? Why am I so excited? Well, first, I would highly recommend going to their website, guys. It's wisekey.com. Surf around and look at some of the tech. Now, here's the deal. We've heard rumors that SpaceX was talking to Hedera, and there might be something there. And I'm not saying there is. However, there is a direct correlation of SpaceX and Wisekey and the SEALCOIN, period. Here's what's happening. All right, the Internet of Things is basically, you got a smart car, self-driving cars. You got red lights going to be talking to the car. One car is going to be talking to another car. Your refrigerator is already ordering food from the grocery store. In the future, it's going to be delivered by a drone. Everything is going to be connected, talk to each other, and some of that's not necessarily good. But here's the number one problem. There's a lot of players in that sector, but the problem is when your refrigerator talks to that drone or your refrigerator talks to the grocery store, or a red light talks to the car, or whatever, there is a security risk, and it's huge. Like your smartphone, your TV, everything, there's a huge risk to be hacked. And once they hack into that system, if it's all connected, it's highly risky. So instead of letting your TV talk to the everything and let your car talk to everything, what they've done is they've launched 21 satellites, and they've used it with SpaceX. Now, the founder talks to Elon all the time. Or not the founder, he's the CEO. The CEO talks to Elon all the time. He went to SpaceX and Elon and said, here's the deal. When you launch your ships, your rockets, we want to drop off a satellite. And Elon's like, all good, we'll load it up. So far they've launched 21, and they've got more coming. Well, here's their plan, and this is why I say other players might not be able to keep up. Yes, they may have faster code, or they may have the interoperability or whatever, but check this out. When that car talks to that red light or to the other car, it's going to have to go up to that satellite and tie into that system. And that system has a security mechanism to keep everything out of the system. And instead of everything talking to each other, they're going to have to talk back and forth to the satellite, which is 100% secure. And not only is it secure, it's quantum secure. So unless they decide to do like a white label and let people tie into their system in the future, I don't know what Internet of Things type blockchain is going to be able to compete with this project. Guys, it's absolutely fascinating. And you have to think, and I'm not trying to spread FOMO or anything and try to link something that's not there, but the CEO has a really good working relationship with Elon. We know that Elon has looked at Hedera, and there's been conversations. Well, I can't say he has, but SpaceX has, and there has been documented conversations between developers of Hedera and the SpaceX developers. And I made a video about that in the past. But whether anything comes from that or not, it's irrelevant. This project is absolutely amazing. And I don't know how any other project is going to keep up with this type of tech. Now, that being said, when it comes to supply chain management, Hedera is already leading the way. They're at what, 54 billion transactions, 54 billion. Hedera has proved it can scale. They're doing about a billion a week, guys, and no other blockchain can keep up. I did a video a couple of weeks ago because a lot of people were saying Solana did more transactions than Ethereum and the other top 10 layer ones combined. Well, that was true if you took out Hedera. But when you add Hedera, Hedera does more transactions than Solana and the other top 10 layer ones combined. No one can touch Hedera in this space. It leads the transactions per second and the volume of transactions. You know, there's a lot of projects, and I don't want to hype on it, but they claim they're faster, but they haven't scaled to prove it, right? Anyone can be faster at low transactions. It's when you get to a billion, 10 billion, 100 billion, which, think about it. Hedera is halfway there. Anyway, I know I'm rambling on, but guys, this project's off the chart, and I'm going to stay on top of that SEALCOIN because I can't imagine it not being a phenomenal token to buy. That being said, let's look at the chart and talk about the things I said I'd mention. You know, in the last bull run, this is exactly what you want to see. And I'm thinking about this constantly when I look at these new projects that I buy, because I like new projects that's never experienced a bull run and has great tech and a lot of hype. But look at Hedera when it came out in the last bull run. It pumped, and then it pulled back, and then it exploded again. That's what you want to see. But right now, unlike Solana and Ethereum and other projects, it's not pushing its all-time high. That is concerning. Now, and a lot of people's brought that to my attention. So there's two things that I want to talk about. First of all is the tokenomics. A lot of people don't like Hedera's tokenomics, and I get that. And when I first did my deep dive years ago, it turned me off. But here's what I found out. The difference between Hedera and most of your corporations and your other foundations that have suspect tokenomics, when they do an unlock, you know, they go buy Bugattis and Porsches, right? They don't put it back into their ecosystem. Almost all the money goes back into Hedera's ecosystem and building new applications and supporting the developers. And I truly believe Hedera is one of the most legit projects. They're not here to get a Learjet. They could have already done that and retired. They are changing the world, and Wall Street loves them. And the applications are projects like this. They're setting the bar, guys, and they are, whether it's tokenized assets or ESG tracking, supply chain tracking, projects like the Internet of Things. Hedera has projects that no other blockchain has, and definitely no one building those applications, but most of them can't scale and prove that they can do it, for whatever that's worth. So that doesn't concern me about the tokenomics. Now, that being said, it's probably going to be the preceding bull run before you see Hedera really take off into, say, that top 5, top 10 slot. I really believe that's going to happen. Now, the second thing is one of the biggest reasons I believe that Hedera hasn't exploded is twofold. It doesn't have that big VC money. It doesn't do any paid marketing, right? It doesn't have a lot of influencers. And I'm going to give you an example of why that matters. And you got to consider this because it may keep Hedera from exploding like you think. You know, when that news came out a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month by now, about blockchain or Blackrock, when they tokenized a Blackrock fund on Hedera, that's a fact. And that was very, very bullish. And BlackRock did have to sign off on it. That's just in regulation. So we know that they were aware of it. Now, were they working directly with BlackRock? No, that's not how like the funds work. When BlackRock has a fund, you have, you know, hundreds of brokerage houses pushing those funds. Well, one brokerage house decided to tokenize their fund, and they did that on Hedera. Anyway, it's extremely bullish. But Coin Market Cap and Coin Telegraph and some of these big news groups, they basically barely put it out there. And then when people fudded it, they didn't protect it and tell the truth. Well, why is that? When you do a press release and you look at, and I'm not even going to mention any names because I don't care, but a lot of projects out there that are always hyped, they pay influencers. They pay Cointelegraph. When they do a press release, Cointelegraph has a package. Do you want us just to tell the basics, which is the news that they support? Or do you want us to spread the word? Or do you want us to write an article? And then you pay for that. See, people don't understand that. And Hedera said, we don't do that. And a direct quote from the founder said, look, we owe it to the developers and to the ecosystem not to put money into pumping the token, but put money into the ecosystem. Now, whether that's good or bad, Hedera doesn't pay for marketing, and most projects do, especially in that press release. You know, if a lot of projects would have came out and paid, wrote a check for, I don't know how much that cost, $25,000, $50,000, that'd have been the biggest news in crypto. And not only that, the reason I think they fudded it a little bit was because their biggest customers are in direct competition with Hedera, and they're like, hey, keep it down. I truly believe that. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, those are the negative sides if you see that to be a negative. Now, that being said, things have changed in the last 2 years when I started stacking Hedera. And I truly believe it will take out its all-time high. However, because the VC money and the early investors, they're not there. It's just like Cardano. That's why you don't see Cardano exploding. There's no early VC money, no influencers getting paid. So they're basically like grassroots. And that's why you see those pump and dumps all the time. You know, they sound great and they come out and they pump. Well, that's that VC money and that marketing money behind it. So I think Hedera will still do well, but there's so much competition and there's only so much money to be in any ecosystem. I truly believe this bull run is different. And when we get altcoin season, everything will pump. But I don't think everything's going to do that 10, 15, 20x that everyone thinks. And I don't think a lot of the blue chips that don't have the hype behind it are going to do a whole lot. And I'll give you an example like Quant. And I love Quant, and I still haven't sold it, but I'm about to. But I don't think it's going to have that hype and that narrative to make it explode its all-time high. Will it hit its all-time high? I have no doubt. But will it do a 2, 3x like they're saying Solana will? I don't think so. So that's something to think about, guys. But for me, I really believe I'm going to be a little more aggressive taking my profits for HBAR, and it's probably going to be around 35 cents. Yes, I think it's going to hit an all-time high, but when it gets to around 35 cents, I'll probably be out. But I'm going to play it by ear, but I'm going to be a lot more aggressive. I'll take my, 7x or whatever that is, and move on down the road and probably start stacking it again in the bear market. Now, I know I'm rambling, but guys, you want to find someone in crypto, in my opinion, that gives you the good and bad. And as much as I love Hedera, that's the only downside that people talk about. But I love Hedera, and I think it's one of the most phenomenal projects out there from top to bottom. Anyway, that's all I got. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And guys, I do one-on-one coaching for $250, and we dive into your portfolio, talk about your risk rewards, get you a game plan, teach you how to dollar cost average in and out, and things like that. If you have an interest, reach out. I'll leave a link at the end. All right, guys, that's all I got. Take care.